Adam Haley here, and I'm going to teach you exactly how to land online fitness clients using Instagram. I'm going to show you the exact strategy that I've used in order to do over £10 million in business, and how literally hundreds of the students that I've worked with have hit, 5K months, 15K months, 20K months, 30, 40, 80K months, and one guy even doing 210,000 per month. And it's all super simple on Instagram. You can see lots of people trying to overcomplicate it, making themselves sound smart, but it doesn't need to be like this. So here is it in a nutshell. I've got some bits below me that I'm gonna add to here to give you a bit of a visual representation at the end. But effectively, this is the funnel. Now, once you're at 10, 15, 20K, could you potentially add some paid advertising in there? Sure. But if you're at 0 or you're trying to get to that first 5, 10K, this is it organically. So the entire focus on this bit here that I'm going to show you in a second should be, how do you get into as many conversations as possible? And at the end, I'm going to show you how to run a conversation. So your entire goal on Instagram every day is to just try and get into more conversations. Once you've gone through, or you're into a conversation, you're going to push them through a certain DM flow that I'll run through at the end, that's going to push them towards a call. You're going to run a sales call, and then that is ultimately what turns somebody into a client. And then of course you do a great job, you coach them, the rest is history. So the bit that I want to show you is how we get people into the conversations. This is the bit that everybody misses. They try and overcomplicate all of this. Hopefully I've put this within the frame and you can read it. Basically, I'm going to do this in order of maybe lowest intent to highest intent. So number one, we have follows. So when somebody follows you and they hit that follow button, that is an opt-in. That is a signal of intent. Somebody is scrolling through Instagram, they've watched your content. People are choosy nowadays as to who they give their follows to. So once they've made this decision, it is a micro commitment. So in this case, as soon as somebody follows me, I'll message them and I'll be like, hey, James, Adam here, appreciate the follow. Are you here for the content, or are you wanting to land some online clients and build your coaching business? So you need to be doing this every time somebody follows you. You want to message them, ideally within 10 minutes, thanking them for following you, and then asking them some form of what we call spear question, short, personal, expecting a response. So this is number one. The next up is likes. So the next signal of intent would be if somebody was to like a piece of your content. Now, I split this into two buckets. Bucket one is generic value-based content. If somebody likes and engages on that of mine, again, I'm going to message them and I'm going to be like, hey, really appreciate you engaging on my post just now. What is it that was most useful? Or what sort of content would you find the most useful right now? Is it trying to find leads? Is it Instagram growth? Is it sales? Is it delivery? Or is it systems? And then they'll come back and they'll go, actually, I'm really struggling with leads at the moment. And then I can go into the DM script that I'll show you later. So the second thing is likes. Sorry, there's another bucket to this. The second bucket is if somebody engages on a piece of social proof, so a client result. In that case, I'll step in and it'll be like, hey, James, really appreciate you supporting Sarah's progress. She's crushed it. I'm actually looking to put 1 or 2 people through the same process that I worked with on Sarah to have them achieve, and then whatever the outcome is. So if you've got a great client result, somebody engages on it, you should send that message. Next up would be story views. So if you've got the same people watching your stories all the time, at some point I would message and be like, hey James, Adam here, just noticed you on my stories, wanted to check in and just see kind of what content's most useful at the moment. Is it X, Y, Z? Again, you're into a conversation. Next would be 2 steps. So 2 steps would be where you offer a template, a resource, a case study, and it's like, hey, if you want this free glute training guide, just DM me the word glutes. So that is a really easy way to get people into the DMs. They want a free resource, a training, you get in, you send them the thing, and then you ask them like, hey, is there anything else you're struggling with? I've got a ton of other resources. Or you send it to them and it's like, hey, if you don't mind me asking, what are you hoping to get out of this? I'm really struggling growing my glutes. Cool. What's the big goal for you right now? Next is Instagram polls. So we have direct, indirect, and this or that polls. Beyond the scope of this video, I'll do that in another one. But basically, again, people entering polls is like a signal of intent for them to, they've got a problem. You could put up a poll that's like, what's your biggest struggle? Is it fat loss or is it muscle gain? When it comes to supplements, are you really overwhelmed on which supplements you should take? Yes, no. Somebody that ticks yes, you would DM them and you would go, hey James, sorry, a little bit confused and overwhelmed with supplements. I think I've got some ideas on how I can simplify the whole process for you. Mind me asking, a couple questions, see what you're trying to achieve, and then maybe I can come up with some recommendations. Done. Sticker taps. So this is where you could put out a bit of an offer, like, hey, I'm looking to take on, show some social proof. I'm looking to take on 2 to 3 people that want to achieve results like this. If this sounds like you, hit the muscle emoji below, and then there's a sticker tap with the muscle emoji. You can do that for loads of different things. And then again, I hope I'm not now going too low and that you can see this one. So this would be call to actions. So keyword call to actions, which has just fallen on the floor. So let's see if this one will stick. Nope. Anyway, so keyword CTAs would be if you do a piece of social proof, for example, you run through the typical caption, problem, solution, and then some form of a call to action, like DM me the word results, let's kick this thing off, let me take the thinking out of fat loss for you. Somebody DMs you that keyword, again, you're in here. So the entire point of me, and there's loads more, there's probably double the amount of this that I could put together, but to keep it nice and concise, here's kind of the visual that I'm hoping to put across. Again, if this will stick on here. Have I got it the wrong way around? Nope, great. Anyway, so where I'm going with this is everybody overcomplicates Instagram. Your goal should be every day, how do I get 1 to 2 people into a DM conversation using any combination of these? So each day you wake up, you could go and message anybody that's just followed you, anybody that's liked your content today, anybody that's checking out your story views. You could give a resource or a guide. You could put out a story poll and have people respond to it. You could do sticker taps. You could do keyword call to actions. Any combination of these, you're just looking for little mini signals of intent and for people to raise their hand on any of these. That then gives you permission to get into the conversation, which I'll run through in a second. From there, the call, and then the client. This is the Instagram system. As I said earlier, I've done over 10 million in sales. I would say at least 7 to 8 million of that has to have come from this simple structure. So that's part 1. I hope this helps. I'm gonna head over to the whiteboard and then I'm gonna draw out, that was probably a horrible facial that you just saw there of me walking up to the camera. What I'm gonna do now is run you through how the DM process should look from start to finish. So, and I'm being blinded because I've obviously chosen to do this at the worst time of day with the sun coming in. So step 1 is we have an open, which is any of the things that I showed you a second ago on the left. So somebody likes something, watches a story, follows you, responds to a 2-step, hits a link sticker. All of these would be the opener. Next up is what we want to do here is we want permission. So we do the opposite to what most do. So we've done the opener. Next up, we go into permission, which is, that's cool, da-da-da-da-da. Do you mind if I ask you a couple of questions real quick? See if I can put some solutions together for you. 9 times out of 10, somebody will go, yeah, no problem. Then what we want to do here is we want to quantify this person's goals. So assuming that everything was to go to plan over the next 2 to 3 months, what exactly are you wanting to achieve? What would be a win for you? And you could use body weight, you could use dress size. In my case, it might be client numbers or revenue. So I'd be quantifying their goals. They come back to me and they tell me that. So the next thing that I do is I stretch the gap. And I go, amazing, 100% on board with that. Question, where are you at right now? And kind of what's not working as well as it could be? Where are you perhaps a little bit stuck? What's slowing things down? So what we're doing is we're trying to get them thinking up here with this quantify goals bit, future pace them. And then here, we're now sort of just bringing them back down to earth. Here's where you want to get to. Amazing. I'm 100% on board with that. That's so cool. Realistically though, where are we at now? After this, we give relief, which is, got it, don't worry. And either I've been there myself, or pretty much every client that comes to me is in the exact same position. Or, don't worry, this is what I do all day. You know, my client, Sarah, that I worked with, 3 weeks ago, she went through exactly the same thing. It's actually really common, and it's one of the first things that we're gonna tackle when we work together. So you give them the relief, and then at this stage, we make the offer to jump on a call. Again, I don't know where this cuts off at this point. So we're gonna make an offer to get on a call. So we're gonna go, listen, here's what I'm thinking. If you're serious about this, I'm more than happy to jump on a quick 15 to 20 minute call, and we can start to do a bit of a deep dive into your nutrition or your lifestyle, your sleep, whatever it may be. I would incentivize the call with a bit of an audit. We're gonna map out, next steps. I'll be super honest when it comes to timeframes. And then from there, if you would like me to, I'm gonna run you through exactly how I would work. If after that, you love what I put together, amazing. If not, zero hard feelings. You walk away with a bit of a game plan, and I sleep well tonight. Send. Next up, you need to do what I call the one-liner. So the one-liner, if I can write sideways, once you've sent that message, you're just gonna go, what do you think? And the reason for this is if somebody is in their DM inbox and they've been in meetings and so on from when you were talking earlier, they're just gonna see, what do you think? As humans, we're curious. That's just opened a loop. Humans always want to close a loop, so they'll open that message. That will have them reply. And then from there, we just send them the call link, the booking link. And one final thing is I would say to them, once you've sent the link, I would go, just let me know once you've locked in a date and time, I've got a bonus for you. And that bonus can just be any form of free resource. The reason that we do this is when we send a link, most people are busy and they're like, I'll go find a time later. As humans, we procrastinate, we put things off. Yeah, I'll come back to that. As soon as we put something in like, let me know what time you've locked in, I've got a quick bonus for you. People are much more likely, again, it opens the loop, what's the bonus? And then we want to close it just by giving them a free resource, free guide, a voice note, a Loom, whatever it may be. And then we do the call and we close them. So honestly, that is the strategy. Instagram is all about just creating opportunities each day. These are the little openers that we discussed earlier. And then you're just going to funnel each of these into basically this conversation. And then we get them on a call. We close them. Your business grows. You get people life-changing results. I hope this was useful. Sorry for the glare and wandering around and not knowing if the camera's in frame. Had some time wanting to shoot this. Any questions, drop it in the comments below. And also there's a link to a free 6-minute training in the description. Feel free to go check that out.